All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, there have only been two players in Major League Baseball history to receive contracts of $400 million or more, and we are about to see a third one next winter. In just 22 games played this season for the New York Yankees, outfielder Juan Soto has quickly become a fan favorite in the Bronx. So far this season, Soto is hitting 337 with 5 home runs and 20 runs batted in, with a slugging percentage of 456 to go along with 19 walks drawn. Soto is on pace for a monster season at the plate, and he is about to cash in a very big way. Now, a couple of years ago, Soto turned down $440 million from the Washington Nationals, which resulted in the Nats trading him to the San Diego Padres. And as this is Soto's walk year, he's locked in at the plate. He was going to be prior to the season. And I think it's going to be like that for the rest of the year for this young man. Now, of course, Soto and the Yankees could not agree on an extension before the season started. That was to be expected. I mean, especially for a guy like Soto, who was represented by Scott Boras. It's one of those where, hey, you know what? Play the season out and try to see how much you can get at the end of the campaign in negotiations. So all of that was a given. And honestly, Soto's started off strong. I think he's going to continue to have a big season. And if he helps the Yankees get to October, and if he's able to do some damage there, his asking price is just going to continue to rise. So, with that said, could the Yankees have another Aaron Judge type situation on their hands? And I bring this up because, of course, you remember a couple of years ago, the Yankees and Judge could not come to an agreement on a long-term deal before the season began, excuse me. And then, of course, Judge went out there and had that monstrous year where he set the American League record for home runs. And then, of course, it cost the Yankees more than $100 million more than what they were initially offering Judge. I think this time around is a little bit different. And the reason why I say it is because, of course, Aaron Judge was a homegrown guy for the Yankees, and they continued to string it out and didn't get it done. This time around, the Yankees traded for Soto this past offseason from the Padres, knowing that they had to try to work out a long-term deal and knowing that more than likely it wasn't going to happen. Why? Because at this point, if you're Boris, if you turn down 440 from the Nats, you're not. Everybody knows that the ceiling, or the basement rather, for the negotiations is going to be north of 440. And of course, if you're Boris, you want to get more teams involved to try to drive up that price. So it's similar, but it's not the same. And I say this because the Yankees know if they want to keep Soto for next season and the seasons afterwards in the Bronx, it is definitely going to cost them. At this point, will Soto get at least $500 million in free agency? I do believe so. Like I said, there's only two guys who have gotten more than 400 million in negotiations. It's Mike Trout of the Angels, and of course Shohei Ohtani right now of the Los Angeles Dodgers. You're talking about a situation with Soto, phenomenal power hitter, hits for average, great slugging percentage, great plate discipline. Okay, he led the National League in walks 3 times, 2 times with the Nationals. Pardon me, once with the Nationals. He split 2022 with the Nats and the Padres, and then of course last year with the Padres. And he's off to another hot start, if you will, as far as leading the league in walks. But this guy is the real deal. Okay, and I think as a left-handed hitter, he's going to fall in love with that short porch down the right field line at Yankee Stadium. And of course, the fans love him. You got some fans out there on social media who are already clamoring for Yankee management to basically give him a blank check. It's not going to work like that, but I guarantee you, Mr. Soto is about to be paid. So the other question is going to be, will the Yankees only be bidding against themselves? I don't think so. In this situation for Juan Soto, I expect the New York Mets to be serious in going after him. And I also expect the San Francisco Giants to be serious about going after him. I know one would say, well, this is a big time free agent on the market. Why wouldn't you put the Dodgers on that list? I mean, how many guys are the Dodgers going to go after? You already got Shohei, you got Freddie Freeman, you got Mookie Betts. Stranger things have happened. Okay, but I do believe that the Mets and Giants will definitely be in the mix. You look at the Mets, this is a guy who's been on their radar for some time. They've seen him play up close from his time in the National League East with the Nationals. And, Steve Cohen, this guy is not afraid to go out there and shell out some money. The Mets will have some money coming off the books this year. They still have to take care of their own business, a la Pete Alonso. But nonetheless, I do expect them to go out there and make a push to try to get Juan Soto. And then the San Francisco Giants, because this is a big market team that has struck out in recent years, trying to go out there and get star players. Remember, a couple of years ago, the Giants tried to get Aaron Judge. They actually offered Judge more money than the Yankees did, and ultimately he decided to remain in the Bronx. Of course, the failed attempt at Carlos Correa, that was a little bit different, being that the basically the Giants doctors and medical team would not pass him on the physical. But nonetheless, getting back to Soto, I think the Giants could be in the mix because they need a star. They want a star in order to try to keep up with the Joneses, if you will, in the National League West. And of course, those Joneses are the Dodgers. Then there is the Scott Boris factor. And of course, Boris, he's had a little pie on his face, if you will, so far this season for some of his guys who have gotten deals and it really hasn't worked out. But at the end of the day, Scott Boras is still a hard line negotiator, and he's going to go out there and get top dollar and then some for his clients. And this is definitely going to be one guy that is going to be seeking top dollar, and that is one Juan Soto. So at the end of the day, how will things play out for Soto and the Yankees this season? Coming in, I pegged them to be right in the mix to win the American League East. They have gotten off to a tremendous start. They just took the series this weekend from the Tampa Bay Rays, the always tough Tampa Bay Rays. And I think any success that the Yankees have this season, Juan Soto is going to be right in that mix, especially in October if the Yankees will get there. So at the end of the day, I think, like I said before, but prior to the season beginning, just buckle up if you're a Yankee fan, because I think Juan Soto is going to do some big and special things in pinstripes this season. He's off to a strong start. And I just think at the end of the day, if you're Soto and the Yankees, the best has yet to come. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank all of you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now you can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I am signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.